The NFL Combine is in the rearview mirror, and free agency is winding down. It's the perfect moment to dive into another 7 round mock draft for the Las Vegas Raiders. This time, we're shaking things up with some trades. With the free agent frenzy slowing, we can now get a clearer picture of the Raiders' needs and plan out what could be a game changing draft. Let's start with the first move. I'm making a trade in the first round, swapping picks with the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas would get the Raiders' 6th overall pick, and in return, we land the 12th overall pick, the 44th pick in the second round, and the 76th pick in the third round. I think this is a solid deal for the Raiders. By trading back, we still stay within range to address a key position of need. Now, here's where things get interesting. At pick number 12, an unexpected opportunity falls right into our lap. Shedeur Sanders, the talented quarterback out of Colorado, is still available. If he's sitting there, I'm running to the podium to make the pick. Yes, the Raiders recently traded for Geno Smith, but why not bring in the future of the franchise as well? There's been a lot of buzz surrounding Sanders lately, especially with rumors suggesting the Raiders are still keeping an eye on quarterbacks, particularly if Shedeur is there at the right spot. The buzz intensified when Geno posted a picture with Shedeur, fueling even more conversation about the potential pairing in the future quarterback room. Trading back for extra picks while still landing a dynamic quarterback like Shedeur would be a win for the Raiders. Not only does it secure the present with Geno Smith, but it also sets the stage for the future with Shedeur Sanders. Now let's talk about what makes Sanders special. He brings elite accuracy, a quick release, and that all-important dual threat ability. He can operate within the pocket but also move around and make precise throws on the run. What truly stands out to me, though, is his mental toughness. Despite playing behind a less-than-perfect offensive line, Shedeur consistently shows poise under pressure. He's got the ability to read defenses quickly, adjust his progressions, and perform when the stakes are high. And don't forget his leadership. Coming from a football dynasty, being the son of NFL Hall of Famer Deion Sanders, Shedeur has lived his life under the spotlight. He's been doubted, criticized, and scrutinized, but he never shrinks from the challenge. That pressure, that spotlight, it only makes him shine brighter. Add in the fact that he's got a history of turning programs around, adjusting to different situations, and leading teams to success, and you've got the perfect fit for Las Vegas. The city, known for its entertainment and larger-than-life personalities, could be the ideal stage for Shedeur to make his mark. He's more than capable of embracing the challenge and becoming the future face of the Raiders. In the end, I think this would be a bold and smart move for the Raiders, setting them up with both stability in the present and an exciting future at the quarterback position. Shedeur Sanders has faced more than his fair share of challenges throughout his career, and yet he's always found a way to rise above. In Las Vegas, where the spotlight is unrelenting, he could thrive in the pressure cooker environment. The idea of him leading the Raiders, a team aiming to change its culture and create a winning atmosphere, is intriguing. But as much as I praise Shedeur's potential, we can't forget that no quarterback is perfect. I understand the concerns people might have. Some may see him as a potential bust in the NFL, but I firmly believe Shedeur is one of the most NFL-ready quarterbacks in this draft class. He may not have the highest ceiling, but if you're looking for someone who can step in and deliver, he's your guy. Sure, he doesn't have the strongest arm, and he doesn't possess the explosive running ability we see with players like Lamar Jackson. He also tends to hold on to the ball a bit too long at times. But these are aspects of his game that can be coached up, and who better to help him improve than Pete Carroll, especially with a quarterback room led by Geno Smith, a veteran known for his professionalism and leadership. On top of that, imagine Shedeur having access to someone like Tom Brady, a mentor with unparalleled experience, or at the very least, an open line of communication with him. All the right resources and guidance will be there to help Shedeur succeed. In the end, Las Vegas could be the perfect place for him to grow and develop as a player and as the future leader of the Raiders. If I had to draw an NFL comparison for Shedeur, it would be Teddy Bridgewater, specifically the version of Bridgewater we saw with the Minnesota Vikings before his injuries. People often forget just how good Bridgewater was before those setbacks. Turning to the second round, with the 37th overall pick, I have the Raiders selecting a running back who has flown under the radar, Hampton out of North Carolina. After the first wave of free agency, it's clear that the running back position needs attention. Some fans are clamoring for the Raiders to take a running back like Ashton in the first round, but I believe the Raiders can afford to wait and still land a talented back. Hampton, who's still available at 37, could be exactly what the Raiders need. Yes, the Raiders signed Raheem Mostert recently, but depth is crucial, and finding the running back of the future is a top priority. Hampton, a power back with a unique combination of toughness, vision, and production, could be a great fit. He brings a physical running style, but he also has the ability to contribute as a three-down back, capable of catching passes out of the backfield. While he may not have the flashiness or explosive speed of some other backs, his consistent production and ability to gain tough yards after contact make him a safe bet. Hampton's back-to-back 1,500-yard rushing seasons in the ACC show he can play at a high level against top-tier competition. And let's not forget, the ACC is arguably a tougher conference than the Mountain West, so Hampton's production is even more impressive when you look at the competition he faced. In my eyes, he's a perfect fit for the Raiders and could be a major asset for the team moving forward. For an NFL comparison, I'd say Hampton's style resembles that of DeMarco Murray, a back who excelled with his blend of power and ability to stay productive in all situations. Now moving on to the second pick of the second round. Thanks to the trade with Dallas, the 44th overall pick, I have the Raiders selecting offensive tackle Jonah Sava out of Arizona. To be honest, the Raiders' offensive line wasn't as bad as some may think last season. Yes, there were some injuries and inconsistencies, but the unit is just a few pieces away from being a really solid group. With the addition of Alex Kappa in free agency, the Raiders shouldn't shy away from bolstering the line further, particularly on the right side. Jonah Sava is one of those players I'd love to see in the silver and black. He has the potential to be a great fit, providing the depth and strength needed to solidify the Raiders' offensive line as one of the league's best. Jonah Sava brings a lot to the table for the Raiders' offensive line. He offers versatility and depth, which are crucial for building a solid unit. While he's primarily played right tackle at Arizona, he's also seen time at left guard and right guard. This flexibility means the Raiders could plug him in wherever needed, whether it's at right tackle and moving DJ Glaze inside or slotting him at guard alongside Glaze. Either way, the Raiders would have a strong foundation to build on. Jonah started for 3 years at Arizona, predominantly at right tackle, and his physicality stands out. At 6 feet 4 inches and 324 pounds, he has the ideal size and strength to anchor the line. He's an exceptional run blocker, and while his pass protection needs some refinement, specifically his footwork and hand placement against elite pass rushers, under the right coaching, I'm confident Jonah will develop into a solid player. With his potential, Sava could play a significant role in improving the Raiders' offensive line, providing both zone and power blocking capabilities. His versatility makes him a potential starter for years to come. For a pro comparison, I'd liken Jonah Sava to the New Orleans Saints offensive lineman Trevor Penning. While they play different positions, they share similar qualities in their physicality and potential to excel at the next level. Now moving on to the third round with the 68th overall pick, the Raiders make another bold move by selecting Darian Porter, a quarterback out of Iowa State. Porter turned heads at the NFL Combine, showcasing his athleticism with a blazing 4.34 40-yard dash. Standing at 6 feet 3 inches and weighing 195 pounds, he has the size and speed to make an impact. Porter, a former wide receiver turned quarterback, brings a unique skill set to the table. His wide receiver background has honed his ball tracking ability, which helped him snag 3 interceptions last season. His length also allows him to shed blocks and deliver strong tackles in the open field, making him a versatile asset. Additionally, Porter has experience in special teams, including blocking 3 punts in his career, which speaks to his all-around talent. What makes Porter an ideal fit for Pete Carroll's system is his size, athletic ability, and versatility. With his background, he could follow a similar developmental path to Richard Sherman, who transitioned from a wide receiver to one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL under Carroll's coaching. Now, I'm not saying Porter is going to be the next Sherman, but the potential is there for him to carve out a significant role in the Raiders' secondary. For a pro comparison, I'd liken Porter to Tariq Woolen, a cornerback who has impressed in his early years in the NFL thanks to his size and athleticism. Finally, with the 76th overall pick in the third round, the Raiders select wide receiver Jalen Royals out of Utah State. Royals is one of the most underrated receivers in this draft, and I love the value he brings in the middle rounds. I know the Raiders haven't addressed the wide receiver position earlier, but picking up someone like Royals later on could be a steal. Despite his season being cut short due to a foot injury, Royals came back strong at the NFL Combine, running an impressive 4.42 40-yard dash. At 6 feet 0 inches and 205 pounds, he offers good size for a receiver and proved his ability to produce with 55 receptions, 834 yards, and 6 touchdowns in just 7 games last season. His standout performance came against Boise State, one of the top teams in the Mountain West. Royals brings excellent speed and agility, with the ability to turn short receptions into big plays, something the Raiders could use in their offense. His style of play reminds me of what Amari Cooper did during his time with the Raiders, taking quick throws and turning them into explosive plays. This is exactly the type of weapon the Raiders need in their wide receiver core, and getting a player like Jalen Royals in the 3rd round could prove to be a real coup for the team. With Geno Smith now leading the Raiders at quarterback, I believe Jalen Royals is the perfect fit in this offense. His skill set complements what the Raiders need in a wide receiver. I'd compare him to Jaden Reed from Green Bay. Both players possess an ability to stretch the field and make big plays with their speed and agility. Royals has the potential to add a dynamic element to the offense, making him a steal in the mid-rounds. Now, moving into the 4th round with the 108th overall pick, I have the Raiders addressing a key area, the secondary. The team selects safety Billy Bowman out of Oklahoma. Bowman is one of the most versatile safeties in this draft class, capable of playing multiple positions with a high football IQ. He's a physical ball-hawking safety with excellent instincts for tracking the ball and creating turnovers. After clocking a 4.43 in the 40-yard dash, Bowman's speed and fluid movement are assets that allow him to cover ground quickly, whether in pass coverage or run support. Despite his impressive athletic profile, Bowman's size, standing 5 feet 10 inches and weighing 190 pounds, has been a knock against him, with many questioning his ability to thrive in the NFL at safety. But when you watch his tape, he plays much bigger than his size. He reminds me a lot of Amik Robertson, a player who didn't let his size define him and went on to prove himself at the NFL level. Bowman has high upside, and I believe with the right coaching in Pete Carroll's system, he can become a major asset for the Raiders, especially given the team's need for depth at the safety position. My NFL comparison for Bowman is Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger, a smaller defender who excels as a versatile playmaker capable of impacting all areas of the game. With his ball-hawking ability and knack for making big plays, Bowman could have a similar impact at the next level. Originally, the Raiders only had one 4th-round pick, but I made a move to trade up to the 130th overall pick by sending the 143rd pick in the 5th round, along with 2 6th-round picks, 213th and 215th. This was a small price to pay to grab a player like linebacker Danny Stutzman out of Oklahoma. Stutzman is a tackling machine who recorded over 100 tackles in each of his 3 seasons as a starter for the Sooners. He brings athleticism and leadership to the linebacker position, a spot where the Raiders could use additional depth, especially with Robert Spillane now in New England. Standing at 6 feet 3 inches and 233 pounds, Stutzman ran an impressive 4.52 40-yard dash at the NFL Combine for his size. He's a versatile linebacker who can play both inside and outside, with a high football IQ and a motor that never stops. He's solid against the run, and in coverage, making him a well-rounded defender. Adding him to the linebacker core would strengthen the Raiders' defense, and I believe Stutzman could be a key contributor for years to come. For a pro comparison, I'd say Stutzman's style reminds me of Bengals linebacker Logan Wilson, another player with great instincts, versatility, and leadership in the middle of the defense. It would be exciting to see him and Billy Bowman, both from Oklahoma, team up in the silver and black. Now, shifting gears to the 6th round, the Raiders make another impactful pick with the 180th overall selection. They grab offensive lineman and center Jonah Mcmillan out of USC. Mcmillan is a massive presence at 6 feet 4 inches and 311 pounds, one of USC's best offensive linemen. Like many of the other players in this draft, Mcmillan is versatile, capable of playing center, but also capable of sliding to tackle or guard when needed. Despite his size, he's surprisingly athletic, running a 5.0 flat 40-yard dash at the NFL Combine. Mcmillan brings quickness to his game and a high football IQ, which makes him a valuable asset for the Raiders' offensive line. He could provide depth and help solidify the interior of the line while also giving the coaching staff flexibility. With the right development, Mcmillan has the potential to be a starter and a key part of the Raiders' offensive line in the future. Mcmillan is known for his exceptional run blocking, and that's exactly what the Raiders need as they look to revamp their running game. With the team's ongoing need for offensive line improvements, this pick makes perfect sense. While Mcmillan may be a bit inconsistent in pass protection and can sometimes play a little high, I'm not too concerned about these issues at the next level. His run blocking prowess is a major asset, and with the right coaching, he can definitely contribute to the success of the Raiders' offense. Now, you might be wondering why I selected another Jonah earlier in the draft, but when you have the chance to add solid depth to your offensive line, it's a no-brainer. This pick strengthens the foundation of the team, and my pro comparison for Jonah Mime would be Pat Elflein from the Minnesota Vikings. Just like Elflein, Mime is a versatile and reliable offensive lineman with the potential to become a key part of the line. And now, with the final pick in my Raiders 7-round mock draft, the 22nd pick in the 7th round, I have the Raiders selecting wide receiver Kobe Hudson out of UCF. Hudson has been productive at UCF and brings versatility to the table. He's a solid route runner capable of running a full route tree and has above-average ball skills. Though his hands can be inconsistent at times and his speed isn't elite, there's still a lot to like about him. At the very least, he could contribute as a special teams player, but there's potential for more if he earns a spot in the receiving corps. Interestingly, my pro comparison for Kobe Hudson is his former teammate Javon Baker, now with the New England Patriots. Both players offer similar traits, and Hudson could have a chance to carve out a role in the NFL, especially with the right coaching and development. With that, Raider Nation, my complete 7-round post-free agency, post-combined mock draft for the Las Vegas Raiders is complete. It took a lot of time and effort to put together, especially with the trades and all the graphics. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button. It only takes a second and it really helps the channel out. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe for more content. I know not everyone will agree with every pick, but these are my thoughts, and I'd love to hear what you think. What grade would you give my mock draft? Drop your thoughts and grades in the comments below. And as always, let me know who you'd pick with the Raiders' first overall selection. Until next time, Raider Nation.